she's a really interesting kind of damaged, unusual type of person. So I think people will relate to her in a very human way and identify with her.
By the way,
Lorenzo, sometimes in an action film, especially with a lot of action, it can tend to overwhelm sometimes character or story. How do you walk that line and make sure that you're servicing the story with the action without letting it take over?
Well, it's one of the tricks of it is that, we're trying to entertain everybody, but we're also trying to make it feel as real as possible in a movie like this. And there's a combination of things that take place. One is the actors really have to give it a sense of reality, and the director has to be watching that very carefully so that we can push reality to its most extreme, maybe even a touch over, but it feels like it's grounded. And so there's a lot of attention to detail, to little things that we hired an ex-CIA consultant, for instance, who gave us a lot of great details for Angie's character. And there are things that sort of happen subliminally that you will notice, and then there are things that you will actually notice. It's that sense of detail which Philip brings to scale in a movie, which is one of the tricks for, I think, most of the big movies. The hardest trick for the director is to keep the small human being central in these huge action sequences.
It also helps that when you have such brilliant and fine actors as we have. I mean, that's the secret of maintaining interest in an action sequence. If you've got interest in the characters, and the character interest is due to the actors.
There's probably no amount of explosions that could overshadow these two actors. That's what I'm guessing, right?
Pretty hard to overshadow.
You have a question?
I wanted to ask Leo, what is the decision process in doing a stunt or letting the stunt double pursue that stunt?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
You want to know what your decision process is, whether you're going to do a stunt or whether you decide, I'll let the stunt guy do that, I'll back off that one.
No, I didn't. Philip just said I did everything. I didn't do anything. What's my decision process?
How long I'm going to have to sit with my foot in a bucket of ice? That's one. How much is that going to hurt my back is another one that I think about. Am I going to bump my head or my face in any way? Is anything fast coming at me from any direction? That's another one I think about. Are my clothes going to get torn or anything like that? That's another one that I think about. There's a lot of factors that go into me deciding whether or not
You're back.
Angelina, you're awesome, first of all. I know you're such a versatile actress, and by reading the script and everything, what made you decide to get this movie, and do you feel like what brought to your, as an actress,
There's something, it's so hard, as I said, it's hard to explain it because so much of her is a mystery until you see it, and then when you see it, I think it becomes while she was to do her, but there was a real duplicity to her personality, and there's a part of her that's not necessarily a good guy, and because of certain things that happened to her, as I say, she's a bit damaged. So she's not just heroic, and she's not even, and she's not just brave. There's something a little off about her, and maybe there's a little something off about me. So it seems like a good match.
When either of you guys were working with the CIA consultant, did they give you any specific details that you were able to use and internalize in the film?
For me, the most interesting thing is that people, when you work with the CIA, you can't share anything about your work and your life with your family, so or your friends. So you become a very, very lonely, isolated individual that has a lot of secrets. And I think it's a very unusual type of person, a very specific type of person that has to do that. It's a very big sacrifice that these people make because it's a very lonely life. So I found that really interesting.
Leo, anything you learned?
I had the great good fortune, Naomi is making a film about Valerie playing her game. I got to meet Valerie, and I think the question that I had was what motivates someone like to this job. You know, it turns out they don't get paid a tremendous amount of money. I don't know what this movie is. And what was interesting, talking to Valerie about it, and kind of moving, was that there's a level of patriotism functioning there that I don't think many people understand anymore. And I think that's part of what was so tragic about what happened to her. But that was really interesting to me. I certainly hadn't thought about it from that perspective. That these people are really motivated by a legitimate love of country.
That's good. Good question.
Hi, my name is Liz Torres. This is for Angelina. First of all, Angie, I love you. You're the reason why I'm a theater major now, so thank you for that. Now, my question is, what does this role bring to your acting career? What's the impact that it makes?
What's the biggest, something new in my acting career?
Yeah, like, what does it bring?
You know, as I said, it's so difficult to speak about her, but it's so unusual to find such a great character, and she has, because when you see the film, her history and her childhood feeds a lot in who she is. And you get to meet her as a child, she's played by wonderful actors, and it's the first time they really feed into who I am, because they're so brilliant and they were so committed that they really helped. We all did the character together. But it's the decisions you make. At the end of the day, I think this film is very much about what you choose to do with your life, where you stand, and what you decide you won't be pushed to do, and your own personal line. And I think that is something that we all have to come to terms with at some point in our life, and you know, take a stand or back away or whatever it may be. And I think, and no matter what your circumstances are, how you're raised, whatever excuses you have for the pain in your life and things of this self-destructive nature, whatever it may be, at some point you make this big decision to make your own choices. And she does, and when she does in the film, I really buy that. I like what she did, and I like why she did it.
Go ahead.
I know this part was originally written male and female, and they actually rewrote it specifically for you. I'm wondering, changing the gender of the character, how did that change the story and have what they
Maybe Lorenzo, you can address that. Did changing the sex of the lead character change much in the film in your mind?